Hi, it's Serene here, and I am a registered dietitian and a diabetes educator, and I am also a type 1 diabetes mom. So I have children with type 1 diabetes, and I love helping individuals and families who've been impacted by diabetes. So in this episode, I want to address the topic of how to handle unsolicited advice. Now, this may apply to a parent, it may apply to the person who has type 1 diabetes, but regardless, it's going to happen at some point. If it has not happened already, you're going to be caught off guard maybe the first time it happens. I know as a T1D parent, I have received unsolicited advice many times. So, what is unsolicited advice? It's simply when someone gives you some advice that you didn't necessarily ask for. And so that's why sometimes it is surprising when it happens. And I know the first time it happened to me, I was caught off guard. I didn't know how to react. It was a good friend. They were offering supplements that might help my son, who was recently diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, insulin dependent. And they were explaining to me that if they took the supplement, that my son would probably not need insulin anymore. And so it really did catch me off guard. It was a little frustrating, and I wish I would have been prepared so that I could give a better answer. I kind of just didn't know what to say. And so I fumbled around a bit with my words and moved on to another topic. But I could have definitely handled that situation a lot better. And it probably would have been a lot less frustrating to me and less hurtful to me had I been prepared. And so I want to go through some things today. Maybe you've already been through this and you have some great ideas as well that you have done to handle unsolicited advice. And this is just um, some some skills that you can have or some strategies that you're just kind of ready when it happens. I just want to empower you so that you are ready to navigate through it in a kind way. And that part I also feel is really important as well. Um, why do people give unsolicited advice? I think they just normally, I think they mean well. A lot of times it's a close family member or close friend, and they really want to help the situation. They want to give you something that they feel is useful to them and share it with you. Maybe they're concerned. Maybe they don't know what else to do to help. Maybe it's someone you don't know all that well, and their intentions are to try to sell something to you. There's a variety of reasons why people give unsolicited advice. And so there's a variety of ways to possibly respond. Regardless of the reason, it can take a toll on the person who's receiving it. It can be frustrating. It can be irritating. Those kind of feelings are real when it happens. So, some strategies and tips to start with is to maintain your composure when you receive this type of advice. I feel like it's always important to do the kind thing, even though it may not make you happy that this happened. It may be frustrating, it may be hurtful. You will never regret doing the kind thing. So, take a second and think about what the person is telling you. Think about why they are telling it to you. Kind of assess the advice that they're giving you. Is it useful? Is it something that is completely unrealistic and would not be helpful at all? Who is the advice coming from? All of these things are important to think about when responding. Is it a close family member that's giving you some advice? Maybe that's a really good opportunity to explain a little bit about you or your loved one's diabetes, how it's managed, why the things they're telling you wouldn't necessarily help your situation. Maybe that person simply does not understand enough about diabetes to be giving useful advice, but they don't know that. I always say people don't know what they don't know, right? If they don't understand diabetes, they aren't sure what to do or say that would be helpful or correct. So maybe they really think what they're saying is correct. Maybe they heard somewhere that this was a really great idea. So take a minute to think about who the advice is coming from and why they are giving it to you. But it really could be an opportunity for teaching. And if not, if it's someone you hardly know, you're really not ever going to see them again, it's okay to dismiss it kindly and say something like, you know what, thanks for sharing that with me, but we have a plan that we're doing right now that works really well. Or we have healthcare professionals that are helping us right now, and so we're doing great. And then move on to another topic. But let it kind of roll off your shoulders and really take a minute before you respond. Maybe someone is telling you something that's helpful that they've tried. Maybe they have someone in the same situation. So listen to it and then respond graciously. Um, Sometimes, if it continues to happen, because that happens as well, sometimes people continue to give advice. It's okay to set some boundaries or communicate really clearly with someone that your needs are being met, that you appreciate their concern, or maybe ask them, why are you concerned? What things can I answer for you regarding my diabetes or my child's diabetes or my spouse's diabetes? That would just help you understand better so that you're not so concerned about their situation. Have a conversation, but it's okay to set some boundaries so that you can not have to worry about this happening each time you see this person. You don't want these type of encounters to ruin a friendship or a relationship with a family member. There's not a need for that. And so it's okay to set some boundaries as well. Sometimes you may get comments. Maybe it's not advice, but maybe it's going to be a comment such as, "Oh, I thought you had diabetes. Should you be eating that? Should your child have that? I thought they had diabetes." Once again, perfect teaching moment. I love when there's an opportunity to teach people more about individual diabetes. It's individualized for each person. That's why I call it individual diabetes. Every person manages it differently, has different needs. So it's a good opportunity to just have a teaching moment of why the person is eating that food. Why is it okay? How is it managed? That's a great opportunity. So that's a common thing that happens. One thing that I feel is really helpful for situations like this is to connect with other parents who have children with type 1 diabetes, or if you have diabetes yourself, connect with other people who have diabetes. The diabetes community is really big, and there is a great ability to connect with people all over. With social media, there's no limit to how you can connect with other people. It's helpful to be able to talk to people who are going through the same things you are. Maybe not necessarily to just get together and complain about things that are happening, but to really get useful tools and strategies from other people and to see that they are dealing with the same things you are and that you're not alone in the things that you're doing and the efforts that you're making, and that you are doing a good job at what you're doing. This is another important part when you receive unsolicited advice, is be confident in what you are doing. There's been times when people have said things to me and I've started to doubt my ability and my judgment in what I'm doing in the management of type 1 diabetes for my children. There's no need for that either. We need to be confident in what we know, and what we know works best for ourselves or for our children or other loved ones that we're helping. Have confidence in what that is so that you can respond um, and not feel like you are unsure of what you're even doing. Just, be confident in your choices of what you're doing. And just share that accurate information with people. Like I said before, this is a great teaching moment. And the more we can help others understand diabetes and what it takes to manage it and how important that management is for each individual, the better it is, the better they can help and support what you're doing. If they have an understanding of it, they can help and support you in a healthy way. And so that is also another really important part of it is just remembering why we want to help educate those around us and why that response can be some way helpful. So, to recap, unsolicited advice, it is going to happen multiple times. If it hasn't yet, be ready with a response. You can have some formulated in your mind of if I am given advice, this is just what I'm going to say. And I'm going to say it with confidence and I'm going to say it with kindness. If it's someone that you have the opportunity to teach correct information to, take a minute and use that opportunity to teach them so that we can help those around us understand more about diabetes so they can help and support us. And then just remember that you are not alone. There are so many people out there dealing with all of the same struggles and frustrations and hard things. And it helps to know that you're not alone in it and to find a positive side so that you can cope with these things and be happy and be able to just move on and put it out of your mind so that it does not become a wedge between you and a friend or family member. If you have other questions or would like to reach out to me, please feel free to hop on my website at goalnutritionanddiabetesspecialty.com. You leave me a message, I'll see it, I can respond to you and see if there's ways I can answer questions or be of any support to you at all. Thanks so much for joining me today. I appreciate you being here, and I hope that you have taken away some tools and strategies that you can use for when you receive unsolicited advice.